The shuttle docked at Harmony Prime Station with a soft hiss. Lily Morgan stood up from her seat, grabbed her single bag, and walked toward the exit. She was 16 years old, average height, with brown hair tied back in a simple ponytail. Nothing about her seemed special. Nothing about her seemed dangerous. That was exactly how she wanted it. The station was huge. Glass and metal stretched in every direction, and through the transparent walls she could see ships coming and going from 100 different worlds. Students of all shapes and sizes moved through the corridors. Some had 4 arms, some had scales, some floated instead of walked. Lily kept her head down and followed the signs toward Galactic Unity Academy. At the registration desk, a tall creature with gray skin and 6 eyes looked at her paperwork. His name badge said Principal. He read her file twice, and Lily saw his eyes pause on something near the bottom of the page, a red stamp that she was not supposed to know about. Origin, Class 3. "Welcome to the Academy, Miss Morgan," Principal said. His voice was calm, but Lily noticed his hands had moved slightly away from her. "I hope you will find your time here educational." "Thank you, sir," Lily said softly. "I will do my best to fit in." She meant it. She wanted nothing more than to be normal. A counselor named came to guide her to her quarters. Was a Florian, which meant she looked like a walking plant with gentle eyes and leaves for hair. She spoke in a kind voice and asked Lily simple questions about her journey. "You must be tired," said. "Earth is very far from here." "I am used to long trips," Lily replied. Smiled but did not ask more questions. Lily was grateful for that. Her room was on the 4th floor of the residential building. When the door opened, Lily saw that someone was already inside. A girl with silver skin and 4 arms sat on one of the beds, looking at a holographic display. She had sharp features and confident eyes. Said, "She will be your roommate. This is Lily Morgan from Earth." Looked up, her expression changed from bored to annoyed in less than a second. "A human? You are putting me with a human." "The room assignments are final," said gently. "I am sure you two will get along well." Said nothing. She turned back to her display and pretended Lily did not exist. After left, Lily quietly unpacked her bag. She had very few things, some clothes, a small book, a photograph that she placed face down in her drawer without looking at it. "So," said without turning around, "what is it like being from a death world?" Lily paused. "It is just home to me. I heard humans eat other living creatures, that you hunt them and cook their flesh." "Some humans do, yes." Finally turned to look at her. There was disgust in her eyes, but also something else. Curiosity, maybe, or fear. "Just stay on your side of the room," said, "and do not touch any of my things." "I understand," Lily said. She finished unpacking in silence. The next morning, orientation began. Hundreds of students gathered in the main hall to hear speeches about unity and cooperation between species. Lily sat in the back row and tried to make herself small. It did not work. Whispers followed her everywhere. She heard words like primitive and dangerous, and some students moved away when she walked past. Others stared at her like she was an animal in a display case. During the lunch break, Lily went to the cafeteria. The food options were strange to her. Most items were designed for species that ate small portions of soft materials. She picked something that looked like vegetables and found an empty table. When she picked up her tray to move it, the metal bent in her hands. She had not even tried to squeeze it. Her grip was simply stronger than the material could handle. The students at the nearest table gasped and scrambled away from her. "Sorry," Lily said quickly. "I did not mean to. I am sorry." She put the broken tray down and left the cafeteria without eating. Her face burned with embarrassment. This was exactly what she had feared. On Earth, she was normal. Here, she was a monster. That night came back to the room late. Lily was already in bed, facing the wall. She heard moving around, getting ready to sleep. "I heard about the tray," said. Lily did not answer. "Everyone is talking about it. They say you crushed it with one hand." "It was an accident." Was quiet for a moment. Then she asked, "Are all humans that strong?" Lily thought about how to answer. The truth was complicated. Humans were not the strongest species in the galaxy, but they came from a world where everything was trying to kill them. High gravity, extreme temperatures, predators everywhere. Humans evolved to survive things that would destroy most other species. "We are stronger than we look," Lily finally said. Did not respond. After a while, her breathing became slow and even. She was asleep. Lily stayed awake for hours. She stared at the ceiling and listened to the sounds of the station around her. Air recyclers humming, distant footsteps, the quiet beeps of machines keeping everyone alive in the void of space. When she finally slept, the dreams came. Fire, screaming, the smell of burning metal, a small girl running through smoke, her lungs burning, her legs pushing forward even when her body wanted to stop. Voices calling her name. Then silence. Nothing but silence and the endless red desert stretching in every direction. Lily woke with a gasp. For one moment, her eyes were not the eyes of a shy schoolgirl. They were the eyes of something else. Something that had learned to survive when survival should have been impossible. Then she blinked and the moment passed. She was just Lily again, just a quiet human girl trying to fit in at a new school. She lay back down and did not sleep again until morning. In the days that followed, Lily learned to be careful. She moved slowly. She spoke softly. She never touched anything she did not have to touch. The other students still whispered about her, but slowly the fear began to fade into something more like curiosity. 2 weeks passed at Galactic Unity Academy. Lily learned the routines: wake up early, attend classes, eat alone, return to her room, sleep, repeat. Still barely spoke to her, but the open hostility had faded into cold distance. That was progress, Lily supposed. The real problem was which meant he had green scales, sharp teeth, and a tail that twitched when he was angry. His family was wealthy and powerful, and everyone at the academy knew it. He walked through the halls like he owned them, and most students stepped aside when they saw him coming. On her 3rd day, Lily had accidentally bumped into him in a corridor. She apologized immediately, but had looked at her like she was dirt on his scales. "A human," he said slowly, "touching me." "I am sorry," Lily repeated. "It was an accident." "Everything about your species is an accident," replied. His friends laughed. "You should not be here. Primitives belong on their primitive worlds." Lily said nothing. She lowered her eyes and walked away. Behind her, she heard more laughter. After that made her a target. It started small. Her things would go missing from her room. Food would be knocked out of her hands in the cafeteria. Notes appeared on her desk with words like "go home" and "monster" written on them. Lily endured it all. She never complained. She never fought back. This seemed to make angry. He wanted a reaction, and she refused to give him one. "Why do you let them do this to you?" asked a small voice one day. Lily looked down. Standing beside her was a named, were tiny creatures, barely reaching Lily's waist, with large eyes and soft fur. They evolved as prey animals on their home world, which meant they were naturally timid and nervous. "It is easier this way," Lily said. "It does not seem easier," replied. "It seems painful." Lily studied the small creature, looked even more scared than she did. Her fur was messy, and there were stains on her uniform that suggested she had been pushed or tripped recently. "Does bother you too?" Lily asked. His ears folded down. "He bothers everyone who is different, but especially me, are easy targets." Something shifted in Lily's chest, a feeling she had been trying to bury. "You can sit with me at lunch if you want." Sighs went wide. "Really, you would not mind?" "I would not mind." From that day on, followed Lily everywhere. The small talked constantly, filling the silence that Lily preferred with chatter about classes and teachers and gossip from around the academy. It should have been annoying, but somehow it was not. His presence made the loneliness hurt less. One afternoon, an older human student approached Lily in the library. His name was Hale, and he was 18 years old with dark hair and tired eyes. "You are the new one," he said, "the girl from Earth." "Yes." Sat down across from her. He spoke quietly, making sure no one else could hear. "I have been here for 2 years. I have learned some things. Can I give you some advice?" Lily nodded. "Stay invisible," said. "Do not show them what you really are. The galaxy is not ready for humans. They see us as monsters, and any excuse will prove them right. One mistake, one moment of losing control, and they will send you back to Earth. Or worse." "I know," Lily said. "I am being careful." "Good, keep being careful." Paused. "I saw you with that girl. Be careful with her too. Attachments make it harder to stay invisible." He stood up and walked away before Lily could respond. That night, Lily thought about what had said. He was right about staying invisible. She knew that. But she also knew that she could not abandon. The small creature needed protection, and Lily had spent too many years alone to turn away from someone who needed help. The next week began watching Lily more closely. It started after a small incident in their room. Lily had been reaching for something on a high shelf when a container fell. Without thinking, her hand shot out and caught it before it could hit the ground. The movement was too fast, too precise. Stared at her. "How did you do that?" "Reflexes," Lily said. "That was not normal reflexes. I could barely see your hand move." Lily put the container back on the shelf. "Humans have good reflexes. It is nothing special." Did not argue, but the suspicion in her eyes did not go away. Other things made curious too. Lily never slept deeply. The smallest sound would wake her. She always positioned herself facing the door, back against the wall. When they walked together to classes, Lily always knew exactly where every person around them was standing, even when she was not looking at them. "You act like you are expecting an attack," said one morning. Lily did not know how to respond to that. A few days later, Principal announced a special activity. "Next week, all second-year students will participate in a survival exercise on the forest moon of Velar 7. This will test your ability to work together across species boundaries." The students murmured with excitement. A trip off the station sounded like fun. Lily felt her stomach tighten. Survival exercise, forest, wilderness. These words brought back memories she did not want to remember. After the announcement, walked past her table. He leaned down and whispered so only she could hear. "I hope you like the forest, human. I hear it can be very dangerous for people who do not belong there." His smile showed all his teeth. It was not a friendly smile. Lily watched him walk away. She said nothing. Her face showed nothing. But deep inside, in that dark place where the hunter lived, something stirred. Tugged at her sleeve. "Lily, are you okay? You look strange." Transport ship landed on Velar 7 just as the sun was setting. Orange light filtered through the thick forest canopy, creating shadows that danced across the ground. The air smelled like wet leaves and something else that Lily could not identify. Students filed out of the ship in assigned groups. Lily was placed with, and two other students she barely knew. Their names were Pell, and they made no effort to hide their displeasure at being grouped with a human. 3 days in the wilderness, muttered. This should be interesting. Counselor gathered all the groups together for final instructions. The forest moon of Velar 7 has been certified safe for student activities. There are no dangerous predators, and the plant life is harmless. Your task is simple. Work together to reach the checkpoint on the other side of the forest within 3 days. Each group has been given a communication device and emergency beacon. Use them only if absolutely necessary. Lily looked at the forest. The trees were tall and thick, their branches blocking most of the fatting sunlight. To the other students, this probably seemed like a gentle adventure. To Lily, it looked like a hunting ground. She did not know yet how right she was. The first day went smoothly. Lily's group made good progress through the forest, following a path that had mapped out on her portable display. Stayed close to Lily, her small legs working hard to keep up with the taller students. They made camp as darkness fell. Pell and set up the shelter while organized their supplies. Lily sat at the edge of camp, watching the forest. "What are you doing?" asked. "Listening," Lily replied. "Listening to what? There is nothing out there." Lily did not answer. The forest was quiet, too quiet maybe, but she told herself she was being paranoid. This was a safe moon, the counselors had said so. On the second day, things began to go wrong. Their communication device stopped working in the morning. Tried everything to fix it, but the screen stayed dark. "Must be a malfunction," she said, though her voice was uncertain. Then their midday supply drop never arrived. They waited at the designated coordinates for 2 hours, but no ship came. "Something is wrong," whispered to Lily. "I can feel it." "I know," Lily said. "Stay close to me." That afternoon, they crossed paths with Scroop. The smiled when he saw Lily, that same dangerous smile from before. "Having trouble?" he asked. "Our communication device is working fine. Our supplies arrived on schedule." "How nice for you," replied coldly. Ignored her, his eyes stayed on Lily. The forest can be unpredictable. Bad things can happen to people who do not belong. He walked away with his group before anyone could respond. As night fell on the second day, the attack came. Lily was gathering water from a small stream when she heard shouting from the camp. She ran back and found chaos. His group had returned, but they were not there to help. They carried weapons, actual weapons, stun batons and energy blades that should never have been allowed on a school trip. "What is this?" demanded. "What are you doing?" "Teaching a lesson," replied. "The human should not be here, none of her kind should be here. We are going to prove to the galaxy what really are." One of his friends pointed a recording device at the scene. They were going to film whatever happened next. "You are insane," Pell said. "You cannot do this." "We can do whatever we want. My family owns half the corporations in this sector. Who is going to stop us?" Lunged forward with his energy blade. He was not aiming for Lily. He was aiming for. The small screamed. What happened next took less than 2 seconds. Lily moved, not like a schoolgirl, not like a normal human. She moved like something that had been running and fighting and surviving since before these students had ever tasted real danger. She caught his wrist with one hand and twisted. The energy blade fell from his grip. Her other hand struck his chest and he flew backward into a tree. His friends froze in shock. Lily stood between them and her breathing was slow and controlled. Her eyes swept across each attacker, measuring distances, calculating threats, identifying weaknesses. She was no longer the quiet girl who apologized for existing. She was something else now, something old and dangerous, something that had been sleeping inside her since she was 12 years old, waiting for a reason to wake up. "You heard her," Lily said. Her voice was calm, too calm. "That was a mistake." Struggled to his feet. See what I told you, she is a monster." "No," Lily replied. "I am a survivor, there is a difference." She turned to and the others. "You need to know the truth. Before I came here, I was not always this way. When I was 12, a colony ship crashed in Australia, the Australian outback. Do you know what that is? It is a desert that kills people, no water, no food, heat that would cook most species alive." The forest was silent, Evan's friends had stopped moving. "The rescue ships never came," Lily continued. "Everyone else died in the first week. I survived alone for 3 years. I learned to hunt. I learned to track. I learned to kill things that wanted to kill me. The soft girl you have seen at the academy, that is the mask I wear because I want to be normal. But I am not normal. I am what Earth made me." A sound cut through the night, a scream from somewhere deeper in the forest. Not a human scream, not any species scream that Lily recognized. It was something else, something hungry. Everyone turned toward the sound. "What was that?" whispered. Lily did not answer immediately. She tilted her head, listening, smelling the air, reading the signs that only a hunter could read. "Something is in the forest with us," she said finally. "Something that should not be here." And they ran through the dark forest, 12 students following a human girl they had feared and mocked just hours before. No one questioned Lily's leadership now. No one complained when she told them to be quiet or change direction. Survival had a way of making old prejudices seem very unimportant. Another scream echoed through the trees, then a different sound, a wet, tearing noise that made whimper against Lily's side. "What is out there?" asked, her forearms wrapped around herself. "I do not know yet," Lily replied. She stopped the group at the base of a large tree and sniffed the air. "But I intend to find out." She climbed the tree in seconds, her hands and feet finding holds that should have been impossible in the darkness. From the top branches, she could see across the moonlit forest. Movement caught her eye, something large and black, flowing between the trees like living shadow. It was heading toward another group of students about half a mile away. Lily climbed down. There is a creature hunting in the forest, big, fast, at least 2 meters tall, maybe more. It moves like a predator, staying in shadows, circling its prey before attacking. "That is impossible," said, his voice shaking. "This moon was certified safe, no dangerous species." "Someone put it here," Lily replied. "The communication failures, the missing supplies, the weapons your group brought, this was planned." His face went pale, even his green scales seemed to lose color. "My family arranged for the exercise to fail. They wanted you to react to prove humans were dangerous, but they never mentioned a creature. I swear I did not know about this." Lily studied him. He was telling the truth, or at least he believed he was. That meant someone else was involved, someone who wanted more than just to make her look bad. Another scream cut through the night, then silence. "It took someone," Lily said quietly. "We are running out of time." She gathered everyone together. "Listen to me. I have seen predators before. I have fought them and killed them and survived them. This thing is fast and strong, but it is not unstoppable. We need to reach high ground where we can see it coming. There is a rock formation 2 kilometers north. We go there." "Why should we follow you?" one of his friends asked. "Because you will die if you do not," Lily replied simply. "Your choice." No one argued after that. They moved through the forest in a tight group. Lily put the weakest in the middle, surrounded by the stronger students. She walked at the front, reading tracks in the moonlight, listening for sounds that did not belong. The creature found them halfway to the rock formation. It came out of the shadows like a nightmare-given form, black skin that seemed to absorb light. 6 legs ending in claws the length of Lily's forearm. A head with no eyes but a mouth filled with teeth. It moved in complete silence, which was somehow worse than if it had roared. Lily breathed. She had read about them in classified files she was not supposed to have seen. Bioweapons created during the last Galactic War, supposedly extinct, apparently not. The creature circled them, staying just outside the range of their lights, testing them, learning them. "Stay together," Lily ordered. "Do not run, do not panic. Running triggers their hunting instinct." "What do we do?" asked, her voice tiny with fear. "I am going to draw it away," Lily said. "When I do, you run for the rocks, you lead them." "That is suicide," protested. "No, that is hunting." Lily picked up a thick branch and began stripping it into a crude spear. "I have hunted things before. This is just bigger." "Lily, you cannot." "I can, I will," she looked at and tried to smile. "I will catch up with you, I promise." Before anyone could stop her, she ran into the darkness, away from the group, toward the creature. This head turned to follow her. New target, moving target, more interesting than the frightened cluster of prey. It followed her into the forest, exactly as she had planned. Behind her, she heard the others running toward the rocks. Good, they were safe for now. Lily ran until she found the right spot. A small clearing with a fallen tree on one side and thick bushes on the other. Nowhere to hide, nowhere to run, the perfect place for a final stand. She turned to face the darkness and waited. They emerged from the shadows. Up close, it was even more terrifying. Its black skin rippled like water. Its mouth opened to reveal row after row of teeth. It made a sound like grinding metal. Lily held her ground. Her heart was beating fast, but her mind was calm. She had been in places like this before, against different creatures, in a different kind of forest. The rules were always the same: be patient, be precise, strike when the moment comes. The creature charged. Lily dodged to the side, faster than any human should have been able to move. Her spear drove into the creature's flank as it passed. Black blood sprayed across the clearing. The screamed in pain and spun to face her. Good, she had its attention now. They circled each other. The creature lunged again. Lily jumped over a fallen log, using the obstacle to create distance. She threw a handful of dirt at its face, blinding its sensory organs for a crucial second. In that second, she struck again. Her spear found the soft tissue beneath its jaw. The creature thrashed wildly, nearly catching her with its claws. One strike grazed her arm, cutting deep. Blood ran down her skin, but she did not stop, could not stop. She had learned long ago that stopping meant dying. The fight lasted 7 minutes. In those 7 minutes, Lily took 3 more wounds and gave the creature a dozen. She used every trick she had learned in 3 years of survival. Traps made from vines, strikes aimed at joints and soft tissue. Constant movement to keep the creature from using its superior. Lily woke up in the Academy Medical Bay, white walls, soft lights, the gentle hum of healing machines working on her wounds. She was alive. That was a good start. "You are awake," said a voice beside her. She turned her head, sat in a chair next to the bed, her silver face tired but relieved, was curled up sleeping in its lap like a small, furry child. "How long?" Lily asked. 2 days. The rescue ships arrived the morning after you killed that thing. You lost a lot of blood. The doctors were not sure if you would make it." Paused. "They said your body healed faster than any species they had seen before. Another adaptation, I guess." Lily looked at the ceiling. What happened to the others? "Everyone survived. A few injuries, but nothing serious. You saved us all, Lily." The door opened and Principal entered. His 6 eyes studied Lily with an expression she could not read. Behind him came 2 officials in gray uniforms. Galactic security, she guessed. "Miss Morgan said, I am glad to see you recovering. We have much to discuss." The investigation took several hours. Lily answered every question honestly. She told them about attack, about the 3 years she had spent alone in the Australian outback. She did not hide anything. There was no point anymore. When she finished, one of the Galactic security officers leaned forward. "Miss Morgan, the creature you killed they were supposed to be extinct. Someone released it on that moon deliberately. Our investigation has traced the source to a corporation owned by the family." "Family," Lily said. "Yes, they have been arrested. It appears they wanted to create an incident that would justify banning humans from galactic institutions. That was supposed to kill students, and you were supposed to be blamed for provoking it." Lily thought about that. All those deaths planned just to prove that humans were dangerous. The irony was painful. "There is something else," the officer continued. "Your performance against the was extraordinary. You defeated a military-grade bioweapon with improvised tools. Galactic Security has a program for individuals with your abilities. We would like to offer you a position." Lily was silent for a long moment. "You want me to be a weapon?" "We want you to protect people. There are threats in the galaxy that ordinary soldiers cannot handle. You could save thousands of lives." It was tempting, a purpose, a use for the skills she had never asked for, a way to be more than a scared girl pretending to be normal. But she thought about trusting eyes, about learning to see past her fear, about the life she had started to build at the academy. "No," Lily said finally. "Thank you, but no." The officer nodded slowly. "The offer remains open if you change your mind." After they left, Hale came to visit. The older human student sat at the edge of her bed and studied her with those tired eyes. "You could not stay invisible," he said. "No, I could not let them hurt my friends." Was quiet for a while, then he said something that surprised her. "I was wrong about what I told you before. I said attachments make it harder to stay invisible, but maybe invisible is not what we should be trying to be." "What do you mean?" "Humans have been hiding since we joined galactic society, pretending to be less than we are so others would not fear us. But fear does not go away when you hide. It just grows in the darkness." He looked at her. "You showed everyone what a human can do, not just the dangerous parts, the protective parts, the parts that would die to save someone weaker. Maybe that is what the galaxy needs to see." Lily thought about his words long after he left. The next week she returned to classes. Everything had changed. Students who had avoided her before now approached with curiosity instead of fear. They asked questions about Earth, about survival, about what it felt like to fight a monster. Lily answered honestly, without hiding or apologizing. Became something she had never expected, a friend. "I was wrong about you," admitted one night in their shared room. "I thought humans were just primitives who got lucky. I did not understand what your world made you." "My world made me a survivor," Lily said. "But I am more than that. I choose to be more than that." Became her shadow, following her everywhere with absolute trust. The small seemed to believe that no harm could reach her as long as Lily was near. Lily did her best to be worthy of that trust. One afternoon, Counselor asked to speak with her privately. "I want to thank you," said. "Not just for saving those students, but for showing everyone what humans truly are. The galaxy has been afraid of for a long time. You proved that there is more to fear than teeth and claws. There is also love, courage, the willingness to sacrifice everything for others." Lily did not know how to respond to that. She had never thought of herself as anything special. She had just done what needed to be done. On the last day of the semester, Lily sat in the cafeteria with Anne. They were laughing about something small and silly. The kind of normal moment that Lily had dreamed about during those long years alone in the desert. As they talked, her eyes swept the room without thinking, checking exits, measuring distances, nodding who was sitting where and how fast they could move. Old habits, survival habits, they would never fully go away. "Noticed, you are doing it again, the watching thing." "I know," Lily said. "I cannot help it." "Does it ever stop?" Lily considered the question. "No, but it gets quieter, and it helps me protect the people I care about, so maybe it is not such a bad thing." Climbed into Lily's lap and made a contented sound. "I feel safe when you do the watching thing." "Good," Lily said softly. "That is the point." She looked around the cafeteria at the students who no longer flinched when she walked past. They had learned something important. Not that humans were harmless, because they were not, but that being dangerous and being a danger were two different things. The most dangerous creatures in the galaxy were the ones who had learned to love, because they would do anything to protect what they loved. Lily Morgan was one of those creatures. She was a hunter, a survivor, but she was also a friend, a protector, and a girl who had finally found a home among the stars. The hunter inside her was still there. It would always be there, but now it had something worth fighting for. And that made all the difference. In the end, she stood over this body, covered in its blood and her own, breathing hard but alive. The creature was dead. She had killed a bioweapon designed to destroy armies, armed with nothing but a sharpened stick and the instincts of a hunter. Lily allowed herself one moment of relief. Then she picked up her spear and started walking toward the rock formation. Her friends were waiting. Her wounds needed treatment. The night was not over yet. But the worst was behind them now. She had made sure of that. When she reached the rocks, was the first to see her coming. The girl ran forward, then stopped when she saw the blood. "You did it," whispered. "You actually did it." "It is dead," Lily confirmed. Then her legs gave out and the world went dark. "Is hunting us all." His confident expression finally cracked. For the first time, he looked afraid. Good, Lily thought. Fear might keep them alive. Another scream echoed through the trees, closer this time. "We need to move," Lily said. "Now all of us together." For once, no one argued with her. Lily blinked and forced a small smile. "I am fine, just thinking about the trip." But she was not thinking about the trip. She was thinking about Smile and the promise of danger it contained. And she was thinking about what would happen if that danger touched. She hoped was just trying to scare her. She hoped the trip would be peaceful and boring. But hope was a luxury that survivors could not afford. And Lily Morgan had been a survivor long before she became a schoolgirl. She was strained, yes, but she seemed harmless. Lily let them believe that. It was easier that way. But deep inside, in a place she tried very hard to forget, the hunter was still there. Waiting, watching, ready to emerge if it ever needed to. She hoped it never would.